An eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And today we have a very special guest. Very handsome. There you go. For all our listeners out there, you are now intrigued because I said he is very handsome. But for all the viewers, you can, it's game over. You can see the... No, I'm a fan of this person. I first met him on Clubhouse when Clubhouse, you remember this, bro, when Clubhouse was launched. It was a massive hit. It's a very powerful tool. And there are few of the people, few of online personality, few coaches that really maximize that platform. And believe it or not, bro, I believe you are one of them who really, maximize the potential of that platform, Clubhouse, and really help a lot of people. I've been there. I've seen people connect. I've heard you speak. I've learned a lot from you, and I've seen people's lives change. And for me, as aside from being a host, I'm also a branding and identity coach. And I believe a strong brand, you can only say your brand is strong and solid if you make a connection, make an impact, and transform people's lives. And all the viewers and listeners out there, our guest for today is one of those people who really makes an impact, helps people, and transform people's lives. I'm a fan. I've said this off cam, and I'll say it again. Man, I'm a fan. Our very special guest for today, guys, he is a TEDx speaker. There you go. Superstar. One of the top public speaking coach to follow this year. And that's not last year. This year, 2022, top public speaking coach to follow. Wow. Look at that. Superstar. He's an NLP master trainer, communication and public speaking coach. Now, we have like skills, expertise, talents, and good looks. Together, let's all welcome a very good friend. I'm a fan, superstar, very humble. I love the character. It's full of love, full of passion, very humble. Our very special guest for today's episode, Jose Ucar. Welcome to the show.
Woo! John, buddy, I do say these things every time I get introduced on a podcast, an event, and people do take it away and say wonderful things. And I'm going to be super honest this time. I mean, this is the best ever, honestly, the best ever. So if someone ever tops this one, I'll come to you, John. Look, there's someone else in my life doing it better now. That was amazing, brother. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Look,
bro, it's not scripted. I don't do that. It's not scripted. First, the people that are being invited to be in the show are in somewhat way connected to, our values, what we believe, what we're here for. And that's the reason why it's so authentic. And that's not just because you are here on the show. It's because me, my team, we all believe in the power and the passion that is in you. And yeah, we raise the bar, and that's true for all our listeners and viewers out there. Don't take my word for it. Look at it on Google. Check Jose, and you will see how great his brand is. Not because he's handsome, but because of how he can really make an impact. I'm just kidding. I love this guy. I'm a fan, bro. Again, thank you so much. There is a miscommunication in time, but thank you so much, bro, for being flexible and being with us here on the show.
I've been waiting a long time now, so I wasn't going to let it slip away.
Yes,
Definitely
that's true,
not,
guys.
so
For all the listeners and viewers out there, we've been exchanging messages for a long time, and I'm blessed that he is here with us in the show. All right, Jose, I know you, but our listeners and viewers, they are interested to see and to know more about you. Bro, who influenced you or what influenced you to be in this position of greatness that you are in right now? Give us an overview, a brief, take us to your journey. What happened? Who molded you? What happened in the journey of the awesome Jose? The floor is yours, my
Mm.
friend.
Beautiful question, deep question as well. Jan, how long do I have to answer this one? Couple of minutes, 3 minutes? Because
Brief, a
we
brief
can
only, a
take two
brief
hours.
only.
Like brief.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to say, I will always say the best person, the greatest influence was my granddad. My granddad on my mother's side. And he inspired me to be the person I am today, even though he's not alive anymore. I still carry him with me every time I go and speak. So he's just right here with me every time I speak. That would be the main one. But then when it comes to speaking, because my granddad gave me, values on how to be polite, how to treat people well, how to be humble, how to enjoy conversations. He would go out to the supermarket, anywhere, and he would start conversations with anybody. And I took that with me because I love it. And you've seen me on Clubhouse. I just want to talk to everybody. And sometimes it's difficult because I don't have enough time to reach actually each one of the people on the platform, for example. But then when it comes to the speaking, and by the way, I always like to say that we are where we are today because of the people in our lives, okay? We wouldn't be here by ourselves. And when I was 12, I had a teacher, and I only remember maybe 3-4 teachers that actually had an impact in my life and in the person I am today. So I'm 12, and this gentleman comes to me and says, Ucar, he used to call me by my surname, Ucar. There are only 2 things you need to do if you want to become successful in life. There we go. And I go, yeah, I wanted to be successful, whatever that meant when I was 12. Yeah, so professor, I said, teacher, tell me, what is it? And then he goes, 1, read the newspapers every day. Read the news. Number 2, learn how to speak in public.
Ooh.
The number 1, Jan, I never did. I still don't. It's actually a pending task, something I could do more of. But then definitely I decided to become, I'm not going to say a great public speaker. Back then, I decided to actually speak in public more often and take every opportunity to share my greatness. And that led me, when I was 12, 4 years later, it led me to living Sweden for a year, representing my country, Venezuela, speaking throughout the country. And then every great opportunity I've had has been because I said yes to speaking in public. That would be a summary. And it is a skill that I will never master because I will always carry on improving. I will never be, the finished product, but then the fun is always in the making. So I guess that's a bit of a summary of
that.
Where I am today.
I love that. Before we jump to the topic, because you already mentioned like key words that we are going to be focusing on this episode. I want to ask this, Jose. Whenever you speak, and I want you to be honest, and I know you are. Whenever you speak, until now, like from in a perspective of a professional speaker, because I've seen you speak, you've spoken on TEDx events, master classes, like massive events. Do you feel scared still when you go on a stage, especially if something, those events are your first time?
I'm not. Yes, I'm always nervous. I wouldn't call it scare, as in frightened.
Yeah.
That is not a word I use for myself, but definitely I feel nervous. And some people say then you turn it into excitement. Yes, I'm always excited about speaking, but I do feel nervous. I feel the butterflies in my head. I feel that, the heart actually beating faster.
Yeah.
I get all of that, regardless really of course, the bigger the stage.
Yeah.
It's not the size of the stage, actually, John. I'm thinking it is the fact that I haven't done it before, then I may get a bit more nervous than usual. But that is a great way to be, because I feel alive and I know I'm doing something new that I never experienced before. So I'm stretching myself and stretching my boundaries. I'm out of my comfort zone, which is something I always like to do.
Right.
So yes,
how about the
I get nervous.
How about the TEDx event? I mean, it's TEDx is a very structured event. Can you give us an overview of your experience before we jump into the meat?
Yes, in my experience, around what specifically within the TEDx,
Like
within
your
the
feelings,
structure.
your feeling as a person when you were invited to, speak in a
Mm,
TEDx event, because that's big, bro. That's very important event.
yes, and I need to share this because I didn't get invited. I applied.
Oh,
So
okay,
yes,
okay, yeah.
this is something I share, and that's okay. This is something
Mm.
I share how to apply for TEDx events
I didn't know
as a
that. I
speaker.
didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm,
I have
yeah.
the notion that because we have partners like, I don't know if you know her, like Patty Dobrovolsky, like she spoken a number of times on TEDx. So
Mm.
in my perspective, you get to be invited. I didn't know that you can
Both
apply for it.
happen.
Yeah.
Yes, but both are possible if
Mm,
you are already well positioned and recognized, and you
yeah.
have connections within the TEDx organizers.
Mm,
Because TEDx, remember, are independent
yeah.
events.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're still under the umbrella of TED, but they're run by
Yeah.
independent people, really. So I applied. Yes.
And then
What was your question? Exactly.
when you get there, what was the feeling?
Well, I went there because I wanted to leave a bit of a legacy, and I wanted
Oof.
to be there with my parents and my brother and my wife. So that was the most important thing, having the opportunity to appreciate and share some of the stories about how my parents positively impacted my life. And
Mm,
having them there was a very powerful and unique moment. So it was a way to
wow.
say thank you, guys, for everything you've done for me. That was the reason behind my TEDx.
Love
Apart
that.
from inspiring the audience as well, my deeper thing was my parents.
I love that, man. That's so unique. And that alone makes it so powerful, right? I never thought of that idea and the way you structured it. Wow. No wonder you are like you really make a connection and you really transform people's lives because the intent is very in proper foundation, and I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that
Pleasure.
part, and guys, I'm sure our listeners and viewers are amazed in that short share. Now you mentioned the word public speaking, speaking on events and being nervous even though you're a professional. Let's talk about how to improve your public speaking skills. Any tips from an expert like you,
Mm.
bro, in improving your public speaking? The floor is yours.
Right. Well, people, get a piece of paper and a pen out, take some notes.
I have
First of
mine.
all, there we go. There we go. And you're also recording, so you can re listen to this later.
Yes.
Remember that I said that you're never your finished product.
Mm,
Okay. So you will always learn. And I want you to carry that mindset with you as a speaker, as a human being in life overall. But when it comes to speaking, imagine that you have the opportunity to speak. This is my first tip. Every time an opportunity to speak emerges, you say yes. Okay. Because there's nothing better than having the opportunity to speak. Speak every time. That's what I've always done. I recommended people. There is an opportunity. Yes, yes, yes. That's number one. Always say yes to stage time, whatever or whatever the stage is. Number one. Then number two, imagine you said yes. Then you go back home or to wherever you live, and then you start preparing for your presentation, right? So prepare, 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 rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Once you're happy with it, then you go to the stage, whatever that is, and you go and present. And I want you then, as you go there, to carry a mindset, an attitude of there is no failure, there is only learning. Okay. So as you're going
love
there, there
that.
is no failure, there is only learning. Remember that in the past, you've worried about things
Right.
that didn't necessarily happen at the end.
Mm,
So with this mindset, I'm going to dare to make a mistake if I do, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to grow. That's another tip. Then as you are then delivering your presentation and you're there, remember that you are not there. Similar example, when I did my TEDx, I wasn't there for me. I was there for the audience. I was there for my parents. I was there for the impact that was going to make in people's lives. Another great tip that follows: be vulnerable, be humble. It
wow.
brings power to your presentation,
Mm,
to your presence. Always bring your 200%, not just I'm on 80% today, I'm almost 100. No, bring the 200, bring the very best of you, which will change, of course, with time. And sometimes we're not as we would like to be, but just bring the best version of you. Another one I would say is track your progress. Okay. Be mindful of the progress you're making. Sometimes you don't recognize it. And then if I look back only a year ago, wow, I've come a long way. It is very important, and own the process. Okay. This is your process. If you really want to become an incredible speaker, own the process and put in the effort on a daily basis. Be consistent. Finally, always listen carefully. Always ask for feedback. And I'm not after the feedback that says, for example, and I appreciate what Jan has been saying about me. Yes, fantastic. We like that feedback as well. It's good for our emotional state. Yeah. Fantastic. We also need and want the constructive feedback. Yes. The one that says, Jose, you share this in this way, you could have done it differently. Right. Your story was very powerful, but you could have slowed down a little bit. Absolutely. You could have incorporated more dialogue, more body language, more pauses. That's what's going to make you great. And to finish, the feedback section, which is the most important one because it's the one that's really going to help you hone your presentation skills, avoid the 3 most dangerous words. I know that.
Ooh.
Whenever you're receiving feedback, you like that one, don't you, Jan? Yeah. Whenever you're receiving feedback, avoid. Remember that the mind, you can't see it as a parachute, and the parachute works better when it's open. So avoid I know that. Be open, taking the feedback, learn from every opportunity. Those would be some of my juicy tips.
Kaboom. Boom. Love that. That last point really made an impact, because you are going to talk about when you said that, it's gonna, the follow up is connected to ego, right? that's gonna hinder you. And for me, whenever I do my coaching, or whenever I connect with people and they ask me, hey, you're very like this, you're doing good like that, in a way, I love what you said. It's good to hear, but I always bring myself back and say, I am an empty vessel. I learn, I eat the good, spit the bad, because when you are in that situation that you say to yourself, you're not saying it to everyone, but you say to yourself deep inside that you know everything, that you're there, that's the moment when you lose the game.
That's it. True.
And I love what you said. I love that you include that in your point. And it's the last point. The last point says it all. You need to learn from your mistakes. You need to learn from people that, they are the one who are receiving or on the receiving end. So their feedback, it may be painful for you to hear, but it's nothing personal. You analyze, you make an assessment, and then you improve. Then you can really grow as a brand, as a speaker, as a coach, as a human being. But when you start to become defensive and you say, I know that. Yes, I don't need that. I know that already. Then you're being focused on yourself. That's ego speaking, and you cannot grow. You think you're good enough, but you're hindering yourself to a bigger, better situation. I love that, bro. Why did you include that in the points that you presented to improve public speaking? It's not something technical. It's more of a mindset and character based tip. Why did you include that? I'm interested.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Without that one, there's no way, think about it, there's no way we can improve. Because yes, we will push ourselves based on our understanding of who we are as a speaker, as a presenter, as a coach. But then it is only until the moment when we get a person that knows more than we do, that gives us that feedback. And sometimes it can be from a place of love, sometimes can be of a place of, not agreeing with you, and it can be harsh. So not everyone knows how to give feedback, but then it's our responsibility. That's why I said ownership. It's our responsibility then to take that in order to improve. Without feedback, I wouldn't be here today speaking in the way I do, because I've had people that care enough for me, just like my teacher. When I was 12, he said to me, look, you want to succeed in life? I could have said, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll listen. Or no, I won't pay attention to it. Yeah, I did listen. One, I haven't implemented, but at least I implemented 50% of the feedback, right? Of what he said to me. So feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is difficult to take in. Yes, I get it. But we will learn. And I'm always getting feedback.
I love
always.
that.
And if not, I'm asking for feedback.
I love what you said. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Wow.
Boom.
Boom. Love that. Love that. Jose, another follow-up question, and then we're gonna be moving on. Have you ever in your journey as a brand, as a public speaker, have you ever encountered first someone giving feedback that you are not comfortable with? You're being hurt in a way, and you're not accepting it, but you need it in order for you to grow. Was there ever a situation that you were in that scene?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. And there have been situations when I didn't get the feedback, but I knew my performance wasn't up to the standard.
Ooh.
And then from the audience, I could perceive that didn't go down well. And then I had to actually look for my self-examination and evaluation and everything for me to overcome that. That's one thing. And yes, I ask for feedback. And whenever people hire me to do a presentation, a keynote or something, I always, at the end, I sit down with them. It's one of my requirements. At the end, I need feedback. And then they usually then share information and they present it back to me. Feedback is key. But yes, on many occasions, I've received things that, oh, goodness me, I didn't see that one coming. I thought, ego talking. I thought I was already up here. And then with that feedback, then it's placing me, taking me back to levels that I thought I had already sorted. Right. But then owning the process, it is my responsibility to deal with it. And I want to carry on improving. And one way to take the feedback is just because the first thing, I find it difficult, and people come to me and, I get inside me, I feel a bit defensive and I feel a bit nervous about it. But then I just go, I thank them. Look, you have no idea, because they are a bit, I don't know whether I should say this or that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, because not everyone takes the time to come and share something with me. I'm usually the one supporting others. When someone comes to tell me something, it's just like, thank you so very much. And then I'll deal with it. But yes, it feels uncomfortable. I think 80% of the time I'm feeling uncomfortable with feedback, but I know it's what's helping me grow. So there's no question about it. Just give me some feedback. Hit me.
Love that. Love that. Now, another follow-up question connected to that. Yeah. Let's swap it. Was there ever a situation that, because you're also a coach, for everyone that is listening and watching, Jose is also a coach. All right. So is there a situation that you are giving feedback and the person receiving it were defensive?
Yes, it happens a lot of the time. And so sometimes it's they are not even conscious about it. And they begin to rationalize whenever I say, look, you could have done this different. Oh, yes, I know. And I could have, I know. And I know that kind of thinking. They don't do it on purpose. They're not used to it. And they want to be right, like we all do. We want to, do things because we had expectations. We have expectations when we present, when we do things. And we really don't want people telling us that we didn't do it as good as we thought we could, or we thought. So then people start to rationalize, I know. And I did this and I did that. Look. And I usually say to them, just take the feedback. Listen to what I'm saying for a moment. It's only going to take a minute. Listen to what I'm saying. Take it in and then do whatever you want with it. Just take it in, listen for a moment, and then do whatever you want. I'm not interested in your arguments or anything, or your rationalization of the situation. That's fine. That's for you later. I'm giving you some feedback. Take it. But that's powerful. When we learn to take feedback, when someone comes with feedback, I almost stop my thinking. It's just like I even stop breathing because I want to take it all in. Right. Wow. Thank you. Okay. And then I may decide, John, to say yes to this, yes or no to that. But I took it in and I appreciate it. And I thank the person for doing it.
Amazing, amazing. And guys, I've experienced a glimpse of how Jose operates before in a clubhouse session. They are, they're really guiding people on how to speak properly, to be confident in speaking, and the way they give feedback is something that is really soothing. But human being, we tend to really, when we give when someone gives us comments, we tend to be defensive. But I love what Jose mentioned, that you really need to absorb it and really ponder upon it, and then accept that you need to improve, whatever the rationale behind it, because by the end of the day, it's you who will be growing. It's your brand. And if you grow, you will be able to help more people. And that's the secret. If you want to make an impact, if you want to connect and transform people's lives, you need to be sorted out in the right foundations. And one of those is accepting comments, improvements, and really putting your ego down, because that's where most of us are really having a struggle with. I mean, I'm there, Jose is there, and everyone, we're
Yeah,
human beings, right? And
absolutely.
that's natural. But staying in that situation is not natural, because there are
That's
people
it.
that will give you insights for you to grow. What can you say about that, bro?
About people giving us insights to grow.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, you said something before that.
um being defensive and focusing on
Mm,
ego is something natural, because we're human being. But
exactly.
staying in that situation
Mm.
is not natural. And I love your reaction. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the one. Exactly. Staying there is not the natural thing.
Mm,
But then it can be difficult to then decide, oh, goodness me, because change takes energy,
mm.
takes flexibility. So now I need to change again. That is one of the most difficult things for me, because I'm changing daily. We are all changing daily. We're aging, we're evolving. That's the nature of our cells and our bodies. That's one thing, and our brain. And then also in what we do. So every day, it's just, what am I going to incorporate? What am I going to do different? What can I change today? I usually follow a four steps framework,
Please
which is
share. Please share.
what, there we go. Here it comes, people. Another time for you to take notes. The number one is, what can I create in my life or in my career? Okay. What can I eliminate in my life, in my career, in my business, whatever that might be, or all of them? What can I do more of? And what can I do less of?
Mm,
So then, if you apply this to imagine storytelling or a story specifically,
mm.
what could I create around this story? What could I eliminate that is not landing, is not really illustrating my point? What can I do more of to bring the story back to life? And what can I do less of, because there might be too much information in there? It can be applied to all sorts of things. And then in that way, we're changing every day, and we have a bit of a process, and we know it's part of life. It's part
Ooh,
of business. And then the more
ooh.
the more flexible we come with these things, and as you know, the more we grow, evolve, impact lives. And yeah, it's actually the opposite of getting stuck. It's being
Mm.
in flow. It's always in flow, but then be mindful that it takes energy, it takes commitment, it takes consistency. That's why I
Yes.
always like to invite people to ask for help. You
Right.
don't need to do it by yourself. You can hire a coach, you can
Mm.
look for support, there are trainers, or actually build a community, or
Yeah.
go to a community that can help you around that. So there we go.
Wow. Wow. There you go, guys. Those are knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb. Powerhouse. Those are like
Boom, boom, boom.
masterclass already. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Jose, for sharing those amazing tips. Like two sets of tips. I love that. I love that. And I learn a lot. And I'm sure our listeners and viewers learn a lot as well. But we are not done yet, my friend. Yes, you
Ooh.
give us a brief story of your journey, then knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb of learnings. Now we are going to play a game. It's a tradition here in the show. We call it the creative fast talk. I'm going to ask you questions, and you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer would be. First word that comes into your mind, shoot. Are you ready?
Oh, goodness me. I'm ready. I like this. Yeah, being uncomfortable. You see, I'm feeling the butterfly now.
All right, all right. It's easy. First question, Jose. Sun or snow?
Sun,
Structured or chaotic?
structure,
Love or money?
love.
If you if you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I feel like a chimpanzee today. Chimpanzee. That's how I feel today.
Why?
Why? Look, I'm hairy and I can be annoying. And yeah, I feel like sometimes jumping from tree to tree.
So a perfect monkey, eh?
Yeah, like a monkey. Yeah,
But chimpanzee, like a specific
chimpanzee.
monkey.
Yeah, like the specific. Chimpanzee
Right,
type
right.
of
Love
ape,
that.
I think. Yeah.
Next, popcorn and movies or dinner and dancing?
Oh, popcorn and movies.
What? I was expecting dinner and dancing since you are Latino. Like,
Well,
come on, man. But
yeah,
yeah,
brother, that's how I met my wife, dancing and everything. But
I
now
know, I
if
know.
you ask me to choose, I think I'm gonna go for a movie, popcorn, and hold my wife's hand.
Right. Now, you answered popcorn and movies. There's a follow-up question there, all right? Since you pick popcorn and movies, name your top 3 movies of all time.
Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport would be one of them. I always like my martial arts.
Mm,
What would be another one? Oh, goodness me.
so that's 3.
Titanic. Titanic.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a romantic in that sense. That is the film I watched the most when I lived in
Mm.
Sweden during
Mm.
winter specifically.
Last one.
And the third one, I'm gonna go for the Avengers.
Ooh. Modern.
I like
Yeah.
I like superheroes and things like that. So that's
You
the
like
kind
the
of films I
action,
like.
right? You like the
I
action.
like action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to be entertained. I don't like to
Mm.
be thinking too much when I'm watching a film because I'm thinking all the time. So it's like I take a break
Yeah,
when
I
I watch
agree.
a film.
Sometimes I just watch, shows or movies that you don't need to really think. You just need to watch and, just relax. So I feel you, brother. I feel you. Next, passenger or driver?
Driver.
The mountains or the beaches?
Oh, beaches.
Jose, what are you afraid of?
Spiders and wasps.
Okay, you mentioned spiders. Why are you afraid of spiders?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't feel good around them. I get nervous. And then wasps. When they're big ones, like you find in Latin America or
yeah.
Africa, it's just then I'm very afraid of them.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do public speaking than spending time with wasps and spiders.
I don't want to spend time with wasp either. So I'm with you again. All right. Next, what is your favorite color and why?
I like blue.
Because
I like the blues and I would say the sky, the blue of the skies and the blue of the sea.
Wow. All right. Jose, what is your dream superpower and why?
To be happy. That would be a superpower. Would be just to make myself and everyone else happy. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Why? Because it is a skill to be happy.
Yes. It is
a bit of a challenge to find the good in stuff. So have like that power in which I just click my fingers and then I'm happy. People are happy. Everyone is happy. That's what came to mind. I'm sure I could, rationalize that now.
Yeah.
I like the game.
It's actually not a feeling. You decide to be happy in spite of anything that is happening. And I love what you said. It's not easy because that's life. But you choose to be happy. You decide. You push yourself in that situation to be happy in spite of everything else that eyes can see and what you feel. Love that superpower. All right, next. What is the weirdest food you've ever tried in your travels, bro?
I ate ants in Mexico.
Really? What?
That's been.
How can you eat that? Like,
weirdest.
are they like fried or something?
Brother, yes, they were. Obviously, you don't eat the full body. You eat the bottom of the ant. Right? The little, what do you call that? The ass of the ant. Yeah, so I don't know what to call them. They served, actually they kind of fried them,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they served them on a plate with rice and some other things. It was actually good, quite crispy and
Mm,
peppery.
okay, okay. There you go, guys.
That's it.
Next,
That's it. Go to Mexico.
what is something always inside your bag when you were a kid?
There will be food, something healthy
All right.
and high in protein.
Wow.
So it would be like a
Wow.
milkshake or a
Ah,
proper
okay.
sandwich with some meat and stuff. That would
Right,
be.
right. Okay, okay. Love
There's
that.
always
Love
been
that.
food.
All right. This last question can lead to something serious depending on how you take the context of it. All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why? Anyone in the world.
Wow. Hmm. I'm going to go. I would love to bring back my granddad.
Ooh. Okay.
That would be the
Why?
person. And you know what, Jan? Since you asked the question, it wouldn't be my granddad on my mom's side, the one that inspired me. I would bring my granddad on my dad's side, whom I never met,
Mm,
who was an incredible guy, a pioneer in
mm,
Venezuela, developing businesses and things. So
right.
why? I would really like to pick his brain,
Ooh.
how he managed to develop. It was a mini empire back in
Yeah.
Venezuela in the late 40s, early
Mm,
50s,
mm,
and that's a conversation I would have with him.
right.
And I would ask him loads of questions because I mean, I met my dad and then I have great conversations with my dad, but I would like to see what he thought about. He lost his wife
Mm,
when my dad was only 2 years old, and then he
mm,
married the person that became my grandma.
right.
So yeah, it would be mainly around the challenge of traveling, creating a business like that, because then he used to spend time with loads of the high society in Venezuela and things like
Mm,
that. For
mm,
a guy that came, from very humble backgrounds
right.
in
Right.
Spain.
Mm,
So it's how do you actually move around that arena?
mm. Imagine the vision that he can
Yeah,
share. If you
exactly.
are in a conversation, right? What is running in his mind, connected to his
Mm,
heart, the plans, the goals, the blueprint of everything
blueprint.
that is inside his soul. Love that, man. And I'm
Mm.
sure he is very proud of you. And he's proud of what you are accomplishing and what you are doing. But that is an amazing share. Thank you so much, Jose, for giving us valuable insights, powerful tips, having fun with us, knowing that you ate
Mm.
ants and ass.
Yeah, well, exactly. Ants, ass, AA, whatever.
Thank you, man. Thank you for
My
being such a
pleasure.
good sport, bro. I know you have social media accounts that you want to promote. Any online events, projects, um, courses, or inline projects that you want to share. The floor is yours. Please promote.
Jan, thank you so much. Well, people, first of all, I want to say to all of you, apply whatever you're taking away from today's chat with the incredible Jan Santos, apply. I don't care about how much you know. I only care about what you're doing with what you know and how you are adapting to the circumstances as they come, as they present themselves to you. When it comes to promoting something, I created during the pandemic an online course called the World Class Communicator, where I touch on all of the different mindset elements, how to really unleash the power within, then the keys of communication one to one, and finally, how to broadcast your message to the world, which is the art and the science of public speaking. So that you can find on my website, joseucar.com, or if you type worldclass-communicator.com, you will gain access to my paid online course, which overall worldwide has got, especially during the pandemic, we got over 40,000 students. We supported charities, we supported people in Latin America, in Asia, worldwide with that training. So that would be my share on that note. And feel free to
Wow.
connect with me on any social media. I'm available anywhere from Instagram, LinkedIn to Facebook.
Wow. Guys, please do connect with Jose. I'm sure he can help you in your journey towards success. Again, my friend Jose, thank you so much for investing the time to be with us here on the show. Guys, I hope you learn a lot. And like what Jose said, apply what you heard, apply what you watched, and connect with people and transform people's lives. Always remember, have a positive outlook in life. Smile. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.